Hey, Jason here. In today's Value Investing in Your Car episode, while I'm waiting in my daughter's parking lot of my daughter's charter school, waiting to pick her up, I want to talk about anchoring bias. One of my favorite things in all of value investing, finance, investment, in this entire realm is behavioral finance, cognitive biases, mental models. These all, to me, kind of roll into one. Today I want to talk about anchoring bias. And before I actually get into anchoring bias, I want to talk about how all these biases can, not only in the investment world, but in our everyday life, affect us on a massive level and, for lack of a better term, turn us into a little bit of robots. Once we hear something, I can't remember what book it was, but it was one of a book I wrote a long time ago, where I think it might have been The Power of Habit, where you do something for so long, and as soon as you get that response, whatever it is, your mind just kind of goes into automatic robot mode, and you just automatically got to do it. And what we're doing, or what I'm hopefully going to be doing in these videos, similar ones like this, if you guys like them, is talking about how we can get out of that automatic mindset and actually think. Does this make sense? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing something better? Should I be doing something else? What should I be doing if I should be doing something else? Just so you get away from the automatic responses, which can get us into trouble. Perfect example is this: is I was filling up my truck last week at the gas station, and I've told this story a couple times on the blog and various posts, but I kind of wanted to illustrate, because this is how powerful these cognitive biases are, and especially for me, anchoring bias is incredibly powerful for me personally. So, and the more you are aware of these biases and your own kind of mindsets and mental models and all that, the more you can guard against them when you need to actually, again, think through things, make a decision, and come to a decision, think about your processes, whatever you're doing. Does this make sense? So for me, anchoring bias is something I still work on every day. Something that every time I go to the gas station and fill up my truck, drives me nuts. So when I bought my first truck, it was years ago, whenever gas prices were $4.50 a gallon. And it would cost me about $70-$80 to fill up my at that time I had a Dodge Ram, from about quarter full to full. It would take me $70-$80 each time I would fill it. Then gas prices gradually dropped, and it was a couple years ago now. Gas prices were around $2 a gallon in Florida, where I was at, or since I've been here. They were around $2 a gallon. I think $1.99 is where they kind of bottomed out here in the Tampa area where I'm living at. So that obviously dropped the gas bill to about $30, from $70 to $80 to about $30, $35, $40. So I got anchored to that lower price, even though I knew it wasn't realistic. I knew gas prices were going to go up. I know this still to this day. Gas prices are likely going to continue going up. So every time I fill up my gas tank now, it's at around, I think I filled up, it was $2.80 or something like that, $2.60 or $2.80, one of the two. And it cost me $40, and I didn't even get all the way filled up from quarter tank. And I was just sitting there, I was like, this is stupid. I remember when gas prices, this is the old man argument. I remember back in my day, gas prices were 20 cents. And this is kind of my old man moment. And again, anchoring bias is actually what it's called. Where I got so anchored to that $30, $35 range when gas prices were around $2 a gallon, that I love that price, especially coming from $80 or $70 to $80 originally, all the way down to about $30, $35. Now gas prices are back up to around $2.60, $2.80. Like I said, I think it was $2.80 last time I filled up last week. And I can put $40 in my gas tank and it doesn't fill it all the way up, and I get pissed off. I'm like, why does this make sense? And then I automatically go, Jason, this is stupid. You're just anchoring to the other price. This is probably a more realistic price. $2 a gallon, most likely at that time, wasn't a realistic price because it rose relatively fast. That's how finance and investment and economies work. If prices rise, there's more demand and or less supply or some combination, and that's what happens. So I know all of this, and that's, again, how powerful anchoring bias is. But another thing I wanted to kind of touch on, not just kind of the basics of anchoring bias and cognitive bias and behavioral finance, but also the kind of deeper meaning or the deeper questions you should ask yourself when you're going over this kind of stuff. A deeper question I thought of the other night that I could have asked myself is, if paying $40, $50, $60, $80, whatever it is, whatever it gets to be in the future, pisses me off to fill up my gas tank in my truck, why do I have a truck? I do a lot of saltwater fishing with me and my dad and my buddy. We do a lot of saltwater fishing, and that's the main reason I have a truck instead of a car or a van or an SUV or whatever. That's the main reason we have a truck, or that I have a truck, is for that reason. So the kind of bigger picture thinking is, if it pisses me off so much, why do I have a truck? And then I go to that thought process, and then I go back to another thought process of fishing, and then is it worth it mentally? You can go through this whole kind of, I don't know if it's rationalization or this whole kind of thought process if you take the time to think a little bit deeper about these biases when you notice them. And that's, again, half the battle. As soon as I'm to the point now where, as soon as I think even for a second about let's stay on anchoring bias for this example. If I see the gas prices and I'm immediately like, this is stupid, I wish it was back down to $2 a gallon, I immediately think, well, this is anchoring bias, and then I only think about it for a couple seconds. Again, though, this is after years of kind of learning about this kind of stuff, thinking about this kind of stuff, and knowing that the power of these kind of things, and training myself not to do this kind of stuff, or if I am doing it, to get out of that mindset as soon as I can. So what my whole kind of point here is that, to bring it back, is that if you are to become not only the best value investor, business person, analyst, whatever, entrepreneur, whatever, in this kind of value investment finance realm, but also your personal life, you need to be aware of these kind of biases, whatever your biases are. Again, anchoring is one of mine that I know I struggle with the most. But again, we're going to be going over these in the future. There's dozens of cognitive biases like this, mental models like this, other topics in behavioral finance that are like this that we will go over in the future if you guys like this kind of topic. But again, the first kind of goal or first kind of way to get over this kind of stuff is, again, learning about this kind of stuff and actually knowing there is a problem. I believe in it was either The Power of Habit or another book I was reading on this topic, where there's a click. As soon as you get a response, your brain click and whirs, and then it goes into kind of an automatic mode. We want to stop that, especially in the realm of finance and investment. If you get into automatic thought processes in finance and investment, you're going to get hammered at some point, because every situation is completely different. You have to be able to think through things, and if you notice some kind of bias is coming in, you either need to get rid of that bias as much as you possibly can, or at least be aware of that bias and what it is and how to deal with it, and know that it's there in the back of your mind, so you don't weight yourself either negatively or positively in that direction of whatever that bias is. Again, I hope this helps. If you like this kind of topic, behavioral finance, cognitive biases, mental models, if you like this kind of talk, let me know in the comments below, and we can talk further about this in future episodes or on the blog posts, blog videos, more. Again, I hope this helps in some way, and that's we'll talk next time. Again, if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. So I'll do future videos like this. If you don't like topics like this, I won't talk about too much. This kind of stuff just absolutely fascinates me. The psychology of investing, behavioral finance, mental models, cognitive biases, all this stuff fascinates me. Essentially, figuring out what makes people tick is not only for other people, but for yourself personally. What makes you tick, so you can become a better person, better analyst, whatever the case may be. It just fascinates me. So, but I know it won't necessarily fascinate anyone else. So if you like this below, let me know. Subscribe, like, love, whatever, wherever you're watching this, and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.